Are you dreaming about early retirement, actually leaving your 9 to 5 and building a life where passive income and an online business pay you instead? You're not crazy, and you're definitely not too late. Most women think early retirement is only for a few lucky unicorns or people who hustle 24/7 until they burn out. But that's simply not true. Today, I'm showing you how women are leaving corporate at 30, 40, and 50 and replacing their salary with passive income from coaching, digital products, and simple build once, sell forever systems. You'll learn which streams actually work, what they can realistically support, and the first steps to make work optional. Stick with me, because by the end, you'll know exactly which passive income stream to start and the easiest way to make this real. And if you're ready to finally start building your daydream, hit that like button and let's get started. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Mariah, a business and mindset coach, and on this channel, I talk about what it actually takes to build a life where work is optional and your business supports you, not the other way around. I'm also the owner and creative director of a luxury branding agency. So when I talk about passive income, thought leadership, and selling your intellectual property, I'm speaking from real world experience, not theory. If you want to build an online business that pays you without owning your entire life, go ahead and hit subscribe. This is exactly the work we do around here. Now, let's talk about what retire at 30 actually means. When I say retire at 30, I don't mean never working again. I don't mean lying on a beach doing nothing for the rest of your life, because I don't know about you, but frankly, that sounds awful. The doing nothing part, not the beach. What I mean is leaving the traditional 9 to 5, replacing your salary with online income, and getting to choose how and how much you work. It can mean working part-time, it can mean working 3 days a week, but it definitely means work being optional, not mandatory. I didn't retire at 30, not in the traditional retirement sense, but I had left a job I hated and replaced my 9 to 5 income by 35. And I built my current lifestyle by 40, working just 3 days a week, making multiple 6 figures with a business that supports me instead of draining me. But if I were starting over and my goal was to retire at 30, this is exactly how I do it and how I'd get there faster than I did. How I built passive income without burning out. Here's what I didn't do. I didn't hustle myself into exhaustion. I didn't chase every shiny online opportunity. I didn't stack 10 income streams just to say I was diversified. What I did instead was build assets and equity in me. Passive income isn't about doing nothing. It's about building things once that continue working for you over time. I focused on selling my expertise, packaging my ideas, turning what I already knew into income-generating assets. And that distinction matters because most people chasing passive income are still trading time for money. They've just changed the packaging. The biggest passive income lie that keeps women stuck. Let me be very clear about something, because this is where a lot of women get played. Passive income is not drop shipping. It's not Amazon FBA. It's not crypto trading. It's not influencer only models. And I'm going to be blunt because I care about you. MRR and MLMs give me major ick. Not because that's unpopular to say out loud, but because they're predatory. These models are built on the promise of easy money while quietly relying on constant recruiting, pressure tactics, and people at the bottom funding the people at the top. They prey on women who are already tired, already underpaid, already looking for a way out. That's not passive income. That's outsourcing risk to people who can least afford it. And here's the worst part. Most of these models require more hustle than a 9 to 5 with less stability, less control, and way more emotional labor. You're constantly chasing the next sale, the next recruit, the next algorithm shift, while being told that if it's not working, you just didn't want it badly enough. That's not freedom, that's a trap with pretty packaging. If your goal is early retirement, real retirement, these paths will burn you out faster than corporate ever did. Because you don't build wealth by chasing trends or schlepping someone else's junk. You build wealth by building assets you actually own. And that's the line we're not crossing here. If your goal is early retirement, these are not shortcuts, they're detours. If you want to build real passive income, you don't chase trends. You build intellectual property. The passive income path that actually scales. This is the path that works over and over again. You start with coaching. You move into group programs, you scale into digital products and memberships, and eventually you build evergreen systems that sell without you being present. This is how women actually build wealth online, and I'm talking real wealth, 7 and 8 figures or beyond. Not by doing more, but by leveraging what they already know. This is selling your IP, your intellectual property. This is thought leadership. This is how expertise compounds. Here's why thought leadership is the shortcut to passive income. Thought leadership is powerful because it scales you, not your hours. Your ideas can reach thousands of people at once. Your content works while you sleep. Your offers don't depend on a single client or boss. And no, you don't need millions of followers. You need clarity on what you help people do, confidence in your expertise, and a way to position yourself as the obvious choice. That's it. When you build authority, passive income becomes a natural extension, not a stretch. If I wanted to retire at 30, here's exactly what I'd do. I'd start with one high-ticket offer, not 10, not a messy offer suite, one clear transformation that people are willing to pay for. I'd build a simple content engine, YouTube, email, social, that positions me as a thought leader. I'd turn my coaching into group programs. Then I'd turn those programs into digital products. And I'd let those assets compound over time. That's the fastest, cleanest path. It's not flashy, it's not trendy, but incredibly effective. And actually, I'm curious, if leaving corporate is even on your radar, comment exit below. Or tell me this, what age do you want work to be optional for you? I read all of these and it really helps me choose what my future videos are all about. Where most women waste years and don't have to. I see way too many brilliant women squandering their most precious resource, their time, because they wait to feel ready, overconsume instead of building, avoid selling, and try to do everything at once. They stay busy instead of strategic, and that's why they feel stuck. Here's how to scale your passive income and make money online faster than I did. I didn't have a roadmap when I started. You do. That's exactly what I created inside of Dream Client Accelerator. Together, we'll build your high-ticket offer, clarify your positioning, and create the foundation that allows you to replace your salary and eventually scale into passive income. If you want out of corporate, this is where you start. If you're serious about leaving your 9-to-5 and building passive income the smart way, Dream Client Accelerator is the next step. We build the offer, we get the clients, we create momentum fast. You'll find the link below. And this is where I want you to keep going. Because if you're thinking, okay, passive income sounds incredible, but I'm introverted or I don't want to be online all the time, that's exactly what the next video is about. It's called Passive Income Ideas for Shy Introverts. You can still make money online. In that video, I break down how to build passive income without being loud, performative, or constantly visible, especially if you're someone who prefers depth over noise. That's the next step in this conversation. It's linked below. Go watch that, and I'll see you over there.